gonna go? Where you really go? Welcome to the M-Bar Show, recording live from Altamont Springs, Florida. Thank you for tuning in. I had to put on a little beat and just mess around with it. It's a little freestyle, not even a freestyle. That was like a style without the free. Anyways, NBA playoffs, Western and Eastern Conference semifinals. We are getting to the home stretch, to the finals, and I'm very excited to state that it's not going to be the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Los Angeles Clippers. I mean, they're already so greedy over there. They got damn 3 teams, and it's about time that another team got in there, and Denver earned it. It's being down 3-1 twice in this playoffs already, making history. It's like they thrive off of being down. And I don't think that's really going to work with the Lakers, though. It might have worked with the LA Clippers. It might have worked with the Utah Jazz, but this is a whole nother caliber team with the Los Angeles Lakers, with LeBron James, leader-in-chief of that team. So I just want to jump into, since we've already been through game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, which was one heck of a game. One heck of a game. I didn't know who was going to win. I'm like, oh, Boston got it. Then here comes Miami. And that block at the end on Tatum was amazing. And I say that considering the fact that I am a biased Miami Dolphins fan. But when it comes to basketball, I love my Orlando Magic, considering that I was born in Orlando, 1989. Barely made the 80s, but I made the 80s, baby. And but I got to root for the home, the state team, that's still in it. And unfortunately, we got smashed by Milwaukee. And I'm going to go through a little bit of these games that have already, the series that have already concluded. And Toronto beat Brooklyn 4-0. Boston beat Philly 4-0. Miami went 4-0 against the Pacers. Milwaukee 4-1 to face Miami. So it had been Miami, or not been, it was Miami and Milwaukee, which I thought this would have been the other way around. 4-1, Miami wins the series, and it wasn't even close. Especially the last game. And sorry for the vibration. I got to put my phone on silent. Recording on my phone. Then it went to Boston versus Toronto. Toronto loses in Game 7. Now it's Miami and Boston Celtics for the Eastern Conference Finals for a opportunity to play in the NBA Finals. This is going to be an interesting series. When you think about both clubs, they're very similar. They're almost like a mirror. They're like a reflector of each other, because they play really good defense, and they both have shooters that when they are down, they can come back and get into the game very quickly. But Miami in overtime got it, so it's 1-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I am so happy for Jimmy Butler. What an outstanding guy. What an outstanding athlete. I mean, if you really, do your research on him, he's had a tough life, but now you know what? He's working hard. He wakes up at 3:30 in the morning each morning and gets to work. Working out, getting ready for the practices, and that's a certified leader right there. That's somebody that wants to be really good, but also I believe he's getting to the stage where he's really great. He's a very, very confident, humble guy. Doesn't have the most extreme talent, but he brings that effort each and every game, and I respect that. Now, let's not get too far away from the Boston Celtics. They are in the Eastern Conference Finals for a reason as well. They have a great 3-core with Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and Brown. But the thing about it is they seemed like they were a little too confident in game one. They figured, I think we got this, and they were leading most of the game. But Miami has that fight in them that just, it's admiring, it's very impressive, to see at least one of our Florida teams do really good, so, so going into the Western Conference Finals, because I only got 15 minutes because I do not have the pro update on this speaker, on this podcast, which I will. Don't worry. I'm getting back to work soon and doing what I need to do to provide for my son and my family. I'm excited about that. That's why I just wanted to state this in the middle of this podcast now is there's going to be a lot more of these episodes about sports, faith. I am spread out now across all different types of platforms, probably 10 different platforms, including the most popular with the Apple Podcast, the Spotify, and Anchor. Anchor in general is pretty good. Haven't been getting a lot of plays lately, but that's okay. I'm not doing it for the plays. I'm doing it for the love of podcasting and the love of just talking. I could talk your ear off if you let me. Okay, anyways, jumping into the Western Conference Finals. We all kind of remember when the Portland versus Memphis, whoever wins goes and plays LA. Doesn't matter who really won that anyway, because LA is just too much of a powerhouse. So we get into the first round. LA takes it 4-1 over Portland. After losing the first game, straight 4 wins. And then we go into the Rockets versus Oklahoma City. And that was a really good series. It went to Game 7. Houston won. So I believe that drained them, though. Chris Paul definitely gave them a run for their money, Houston Rockets. And the Denver Nuggets versus the Utah Jazz. This is a series, that was just dramatically in Utah's favor. Up 3-1. Everything's going good, and here comes Denver, and they win in Game 7, 4-3. And another one in the Western Conference, like the Houston Rockets and Oklahoma City. You just didn't know who really was going to win. Was it going to be Oklahoma City? Was it going to be Houston? Was it going to be Utah? Was it going to be Denver? We didn't know. And that's what I love about Game 7, though, because it's do or die. It's 50-50. Who's going to win? Who's going home? Because there's no more games after this for one team. And the LA Clippers, 4-2 over Dallas. Definitely going to skim through that because, I'll get to that in a second. Houston Rockets win the first game of the series against LA, but then here comes LA, and they lost the first game, kind of filling the team out, and went 4-1 in 5. Denver versus the LA Clippers series was outstanding basketball all around. LA Clippers go up 3-1. And then, you think that Leonard has it, and, Paul George, I said it right? Yeah, Paul George, PG, would make it to where it would be LA versus LA, right? No, they were up 3-1. I'm like, all right, well, Clippers got this. Then Denver wins, and then the next game, I'm like, Clippers got this. And then when it's Game 7, I'm like, hold up. I think Denver got this. And they did. They pulled it off. So, the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. Who do we have now to go to the NBA Finals? I'm going to be truthful in my predictions that I made earlier before this. I really thought that it was going to be Toronto versus the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know why that I was canceling out the Milwaukee Bucks. I really don't. And then the Miami Heat surprised not only me, but a lot of people. Starting out, the first 8 games of their playoffs, they only lost 1 game. And now let's really look at this. let's look at this, because I know that I was talking about the Western Conference, but I'm going back to the Eastern Conference. Because everyone's favoring LA or whoever comes out of the West is going to win, right? Like, Denver's a really good team. They have a chance to really, really make this NBA Finals very interesting if they get in. But Miami Heat swept Indiana Pacers, only lost one game to the Milwaukee Bucks. And now they're up 1-0 on Boston. Number 5 seed versus the number 3 seed in the Boston Celtics. And it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. I mean, I didn't think that they were that good. But it just goes to show these numbers don't mean nothing, because when you're in the playoffs, you could be number 4, you could be number 5, you could be number 6. It don't matter. You can get to that. You can get to the promised land, the NBA Finals. Now, winning it is a whole nother story and a whole nother thing in itself. But for the first 10 games of the playoffs, well, let's just say the first 9, right? The first 9. No, first 10. First 10, I'm sorry. The Miami Heat are 9-1. 9-1. Now we're going back to LA. LA's just as good. LA's just as good. Because they are 8-2. And that's still impressive as well. And the Denver Nuggets, the one thing that makes me wonder if they're really going to be a team that's going to be there, and I got to end this short because I don't have a lot of airtime. I think they've worn themselves out, though. All those games, those 2 series with Game 7s, and even with the other series that was, they've been through some tough series. Actually, both of them were games. Yeah. They had deficits of down 1-3. Down 3-1, however you want to say it. But getting back into my predictions real quick, I really think that it's going to be now the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Miami Heat. But now, the Eastern Conference Finals will go to Game 6 or 7. Western Conference, I think it'll go to Game 5. Maybe Game 6 if Denver plays top notch and can get 2 wins. But I really see LA kind of like now, all right, they see the NBA Finals and their telescope and they're trying to get there. I think that they're just going to manhandle the Denver Nuggets and kind of humble them a little bit, because they think that they're on top of the world right now, being, Game 7 heroes. But with that being said, this is the M-Bar Show. We will be having a lot more episodes pop up here and there. I hope that you've enjoyed, and you can check me out on the Anchor, the M-Bar Show. Just hashtag it. You'll find me. You'll find different links on YouTube as well, and hopefully you can join me one day. This is the M-Bar Show. M-Bar's checking out. I don't own any rights to this music, but I ain't making no piles of money, so I get through this. It's okay, I don't even care about my insecurities. We're talking about the NBA ballin'. I ain't falling no more for your crap. I didn't say that word. Got a lot of people, man, they want to use the cuss words, but it really doesn't really look good. Misunderstood. Everyone have a blessed day. And remember, if you love what you're doing, you're not really working. Gotcha.